everyone, welcome you back in my geography class. Today we are going to discuss on the seismic waves of class 11. In the last video we discussed about what is earthquake and what are the causes of earthquake, why does the earth shake. There we discussed that the earthquake causes some seismic waves. So today we will discuss about the seismic waves. Now let us know the definition of seismic waves. What are seismic waves? These are the waves of energy that are caused by the sudden breaking in the rocks within the earth. Now what happens, we've already discussed about the fault, that there is a fracture, and this fracture, that is a breaking of rocks, sudden breaking of rock, creates energy, and this energy travel in all direction. These are known as the seismic waves. Now they travel in all direction in the earth and they are recorded in the seismograph. The study of the seismic waves is known as the seismology. Now the seismic waves are divided into two types. There are two types of seismic waves. Number one, body waves, and number two, the surface waves. Now let us understand about the body waves. What are body waves? Body waves. Now, in the inside of the earth, that is in the interior of the earth, the waves that travel through the interior of the earth, they are known as the body waves. So body waves are the waves that travel through the interior of the earth. These waves reaches the surface before the surface waves. They have higher frequency than surface waves. Now the body waves are again divided into the P waves or the primary waves and the S waves or the secondary waves. Now let us understand the P waves and the S waves. Now let us know about the P waves. The P waves are the waves that move faster and are the first to arrive at the surface. We can say these are the first waves to get recorded on the seismograph. These waves are also called the primary waves or the longitudinal waves. The P waves can travel through all medium. That is, they can move through solid rock and fluids like water or the liquid layers of the earth. They travel at a speed of 5 to 7 km per second in the earth's crust. Now, let us know about the movement of the P waves. The P waves vibrate parallel to the direction of the waves. It pushes and pulls the rock. It moves through just like the sound waves push and pull the air. Have you ever heard a big clap of thunder and heard the windows rattle at the same time? Why do the windows rattle? It is because the sound waves were pushing and pulling on the window glass, much like P waves push and pull on rocks. Sometimes animals can hear the P waves of an earthquake. Dogs, for instance, commonly begin barking hysterically just before an earthquake hits. Usually, people can only feel the bump and rattle of these waves. The P waves are also known as the compressional waves. Why? Because of the pushing and pulling they do. What they do? They alternatingly compressions, that is push, and dilation, that is pull, as the waves travel. Subjected to a P wave, particles move in the same direction that the wave is moving in, which is the direction that the energy is traveling in, and sometimes called the direction of the wave propagation. The second waves that arrive at the surface and to get recorded on the seismograph are the S waves. These waves arrive at the surface with some time lag. They are slower than the P waves. These waves are also known as the secondary waves or the transverse shear waves. These waves can only travel through the solid material, which has helped the scientists to understand the structure of the interior of the earth. It gives us an information that maybe the interior of the earth is liquid in nature. Now, we will see that these waves travel at a speed of 3 to 4 km per second in the earth's crust. Now, we know that reflection causes waves to rebound, whereas refraction makes waves to move in a different directions. Now, let us know the movement of these waves. The S waves moves the rock particles up and down, side to side, perpendicular to the direction that the wave is traveling in. So the direction of the vibrations of S waves is perpendicular to the wave direction in the vertical plane. Hence, they create troughs and crests in the material through which they pass. These waves are more destructive as they cause displacement of rocks, and hence the collapse of structures occurs. I hope all of you understood about the P waves and the S waves. So P waves are the first waves to arrive at the surface and they are referred as the primary waves, and S waves are the second waves. They arrive at the surface after some time lag. So now let us understand about the surface waves. That what are surface waves? Now surface waves, what happens when the body waves moves through the interior and try to travel towards the earth's crust, they comes in interaction with the rock, the body of the rocks, and then this waves reaches the surface and referred as the surface waves. The surface waves only travel only in the crust, and the body waves travel in the interior of the earth. So what are surface waves? The waves finally reaches the surface are called surface waves. They travel only in the crust. Now these waves arrive much later than the body waves. These waves are the waves which cause much destruction that we can see, like collapse of the buildings. So these are caused by the surface waves. So much destruction is caused by the surface waves. They have a lower frequency than the body waves. With depth, the intensity of the earthquake increases. So the surface waves are again divided into the love waves and the Rayleigh waves. Now let us know about the love waves and the Rayleigh waves. Now let us know about the L waves or the love surface waves. These are the types of surface waves which are the fastest surface waves. These waves are named after Augustus Edward Hogg Love, a British mathematician. These waves are confined to the surface of the crust. They exist because of the Earth's surface. These waves are largest at the surface and decreases in amplitude with depth. These waves result due to the interference of many shear waves. These waves are similar to the S waves. The love waves are dispersive. That is, the wave velocity is dependent on frequency, with low frequencies normally propagating at higher velocity. Depth of penetration of the love waves is also dependent on frequency, with lower frequencies penetrating to greater depth. These waves produce entirely horizontal motion. These waves move the particles transverse or perpendicular to the direction of the propagation and generally parallel to the Earth's surface. That means these waves move the ground from side to side just as like the S waves. These waves travel at a speed of 2.0 to 4.5 km per second in the Earth depending on the frequency of the propagation of the wave. These waves causes most damage to the structures. Now let us know about the Rayleigh waves. The Rayleigh waves are the type of surface waves that travel near the surface of solid. These waves are named after John William Strutt, Lord Rayleigh, a young British physicist. These waves rolls along the ground just like waves rolls across an ocean. So in appearance and particle motion, these are similar to water waves. The motion in the waves is in the direction of the propagation and perpendicular in a vertical plane. So it moves the ground up and down, side to side in the same direction that the wave is moving. These waves are also dispersive and the amplitude generally decreases with depth in the earth. They move at a speed of 2.0 to 4.5 km per second in the earth, deepening on frequency of the propagating wave. Most of the shaking felt from an earthquake is due to the Rayleigh wave. I hope all of you understood the love waves and the Rayleigh waves. So in this video, what we learned about the seismic waves. We learned about the body waves. In body waves, we learned about the P waves and the S waves. And we learned about the surface waves, where we learned about the Rayleigh waves and the love waves. So in this video, we only discussed about the seismic waves. And I hope all of you understood it very clearly. You will just follow your NCERT. You will read in between the lines and will also follow the PDF that has been provided in the description box. If you have any problem or any suggestion, you can comment below in the comment box given. And if you like my content and my video, don't forget to hit the like button. If you're new to my channel, do subscribe my channel and do hit the bell icon for further notifications of my upcoming videos. Till then, stay tuned for my next video. Thank you and stay safe.